Welcome back to another video. Today, Barcelona beat Albacete, the mighty titled killer Albacete, who had come off of eliminating Real Madrid from the Copa del Rey in the round of 16. Today, the quarterfinal matchup was against Barcelona, and they were looking to do the exact same thing, except Barcelona came here with a serious mindset, with an alternate lineup, just like Real Madrid, but with the depth to finish off the game, to close out the game. But we're not going to talk about Real Madrid today. So let's that's the last time I'll be mentioning them. What I want to talk about today is the players that played today in the Copa del Rey, but not only that, what their performance tells me about the rest of the season. What is the rest of the season looking like with these players? That some of them are starters, some of them are coming off the bench, and some of them don't really play that much. But what are they telling me? So today, the lineup for Barcelona was Lewandowski at the striker, with Rashford, Olmo, and Lamine Yamal running the offensive midfield. The defensive midfield was Marc Bernal and Frankie de Jong. And on defense, Gerard Martin on left back, Joao Cancelo on right back. And the two center backs, Eric Garcia and Ronald Araujo. In goal, Joan Garcia. Joan Garcia, let's start off with him. He didn't have much to do at the beginning of the game, but at the end of the game is when it started getting hot, when it started getting complicated. And, of course, Joan Garcia showed up like he usually does. He's extremely clutch. He's extremely good at his job. And he saved us multiple times, especially towards that end of that game. In the defense, Gerard Martin on the left back, he looked good. He looked solid. He actually saves Barcelona from going into extra time at the end of this game. And on the other side, Joao Cancelo. Joao Cancelo today had a difficult game. He had a very early yellow card and was basically managing that condition for the rest of the game after that. It got to a point where he had a semi-serious foul towards the end of the second half. And a lot of the Albacete players and the fans, obviously, were arguing for the second yellow. Although it wasn't like that. I don't think it was serious enough for a second yellow. But after that, Hansi Flick told him, can we finish off the game? And at halftime, I'll make the changes. So the first half, is all that Joao Cancelo lasted today. This is already probably his third or fourth game. He hasn't really had that many opportunities to start and that many opportunities to play. But when he has, he looks pretty good on the ball. But off the ball, he struggles. And that's obviously what everybody has always said about Joao Cancelo. That was always the criticism he would receive when he was playing under Xavi 2 years ago. Where offensively, he was very good, and defensively, he was a disaster. Today was a lot like that. Kind of looked very vulnerable when having to defend, when having to come back. He plays the line well, but it's just about, I think it was that sliding tackle, man. It pretty much took him out of the game. Because if you're going to be running with a yellow card at the 20th, 30th minute, do they say what time he got that yellow card? Let me see if I click on it. It doesn't say. But yeah, that pretty much sentenced this game. You already knew, especially with that second foul towards the end, you already knew Hansi Flick was going to make a sub. The sub that he ends up making is Pau Cubarsí comes in at center back alongside Araujo, and Eric Garcia gets moved to the right back position. Once again, Eric Garcia showing why he's such an important player. He can do it for us in many different moments of the game and in many different positions. So Eric Garcia continues to be one of our most important players in our squad, and for this season, it's become apparent that every team needs a player like this. Araujo, today, I want to congratulate Araujo because that game against Chelsea, it broke him, it destroyed him, sent him off to a sort of hiatus, sort of spiritual gathering. He came back and he had to bite the bullet. He had to fight for his position back. He had to slowly but surely train and get more and more minutes. Sometimes it was 2, sometimes it was 5, sometimes it was 10. And today he played 78 minutes of high quality football. Not only did he get a goal, because that's huge to get us the second goal. It was to go 2-0, but we end up winning this game 2-1, so very important goal. But defensively, man, he is just such a tank. He's so physically dominant. He's so physically superior to almost every single player on the field today. And you can tell he would anticipate in a way where there was nobody winning against him in that sense. Not only that, because you know that Barcelona plays that high line. A lot of the times we're caught on our back foot and we have to chase after a player that has gone free off a break, right? And Araujo today, not only was he strong, not only was he focused, was he locked in, but also his speed was amazing. He was not only stronger than everybody, but he was also faster than everybody on Albacete's defense. On Albacete's offense. So honestly, great game by Araujo. I would almost give him man of the match. They give man of the match to Lamine. Lamine had a good game today. Although we'll talk about Lamine in a little bit, but my man of the match, I'll give it to Araujo. He got the goal. He had a good defensive performance. And they scored the 87th minute. So, they score when Araujo's no longer on the field. Just something to take into consideration. In the midfield, Marc Bernal, Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong is obviously a starter, and he played a great game. He had an assist. But not only that, he managed our midfield like no one else can except for Pedri. But when Pedri's not here, Frankie de Jong is so, so important. In Pedri's stead was Marc Bernal. Marc Bernal, who has been slowly recovering from an injury from last season, an entire last season ending injury. And he's finally back, slowly but surely, getting his minutes. And not only that, earning his minutes, because it's not bad. Today, it was okay. Today, nothing particularly special, but he held down the middle, and that's the most important thing. That's all we can ask for from Marc Bernal. Slowly but surely, he'll be getting his feet on the ball and showing why he was touted as one of the great players to come out of our academy last season. I'm still waiting to see it, but I trust him. I trust him to get the job done, to do a good job, to do a clean job, and he did it today. In the offensive midfield, Marcus Rashford started for Rafinha, who's once again injured. This time, it's a little bit more serious than a precautionary, maybe resting period. It's more about like Hansi Flick saying, hey, we got to start tweaking the way he plays, how much he plays, the way he trains, how much he trains, and the way he's taking care of his body, both with food and with exercise and with conditioning, stuff like that, because it seems to be that Marcus Rashford has probably reignited some sort of injury that he had earlier in the season. And I mean, not Marcus Rashford, Rafinha. So that's a big deal. We got to watch out for that. But Marcus Rashford, in his place today, gets an assist for the second goal, I believe. No, for the first goal. No, not for Lamine Yamal. I'm sorry. It was for the second goal. It was for the corner kick that Araujo scores. Marcus Rashford puts in the pass. That leaves him this season with 10 goals, 10 assists. We're talking about 20 goal contributions in, what do we say? We have 22 La Liga games plus 8, 30 plus the 2, 3. This is our third Copa del Rey match, right? Yeah. So we're talking about 33 games, 20 goal contributions in 33 games. And that's that he's not a starter. That's that he doesn't play all the minutes. He doesn't always come off the bench. And he almost always gets subbed out. He never plays an entire 90. If he does, maybe a handful of times. I'd probably say Newcastle is the one I would think about. But even then, I don't know if he played the entire game for Newcastle. So 20 goal contributions in 33 games. That's extremely impressive for Marcus Rashford. Someone who's still flying under the radar, as much as you can fly under the radar while being a English player in Spain, cracked like Rashford is, and just all out legendary. There are rumors that Michael Carrick might want him back. Also, hit me in the comments, man, if you guys want me to talk about more than just Barcelona or Real Madrid, because I'm going to admit, I've always been a Manchester United fan, but when Ruben Amorim got there, they got rid of Ten Hag, which I didn't mind him being there. Yeah, he wasn't the best. I didn't mind him being there, but when Amorim came around, I stopped watching Man U. Now that Carrick is there, I've been watching them, and they're just lighting it up. It's amazing what Michael Carrick is doing with the same team that Ruben Amorim had for a year and a half. So if you guys want me to talk about Manchester United, get me in the comments because I would love to. But anyway, supposedly Michael Carrick wants Rashford back next season. Let's see, because 20 goal contributions in 33 games, and most of them, if not all of them, he wasn't a starter or he wasn't a 90-minute player. That's extremely impressive. Those are good statistics, and that's somebody that you want to have off the bench for a run like we're trying to do this year. We're trying to make a Champions League run. We're trying to make a title run in every single competition that we're competing in. So it's important to have a player like Rashford. I don't know how that works financially, but that's a video for another time. Dani Olmo, once again, amazing. I love Dani Olmo. Is he better than Fermin? No. But at the same time, Olmo has been playing in the double six with Frankie de Jong, doing it really well with Fermin, just a little bit more advanced than him. And that's awesome. But Hansi Flick chose to rest Fermin for this game, at least the majority of it. So Olmo played the entire game, and he played it at the cam position, at least in the beginning. And he did it really, really well. I love Olmo. I continue to support Olmo. Even when he misses, even when he messes up, I'm there for him. That's 100% my type of player. Lamine Yamal today, there was a moment in the game, I think in like the first 20, 30 minutes, where he attempted the same sort of cross like 3, 4, 5 times. And I'm like, man, it's not working. And then he puts in like this crazy through pass, like laser focused, laser point pass to Olmo. Olmo can't control it because it's coming at such a speed, and he's so close to the edge of the box, like the edge of the field, actually. When he receives it, he's in the box when he receives it, and he's not able to control it really well. It was such a good pass, almost unexpected, with a little bit of space, so he's not able to control it. But that right there was kind of like what I was thinking. I'm like, dude, try something else, and that's when he did that. And yeah, those passes, in the beginning of the game, they weren't working. Eventually, he gets his goal, a golazo. But what I'm trying to say about Lamine Yamal is that even when he messes up, even when he is trying and failing, or just not getting that end result that he wants, he still keeps asking for it. He still keeps trying. He still wants to put this team on his shoulder. And today he was an authentic leader for this team. At 18 years old, an 18-year-old with the legends around him. Like a lot of these are legends: Lewandowski, Rashford, De Jong, Araujo, and could be a legend. I won't go further than that, but and just other players that he shares the squad with. And Lamine Yamal, an 18-year-old, is the one who's leading this team, who's putting this team on his shoulders and saying, "Let's go, dude. We'll run the attack through me," and it's just amazing. It's more the attitude that I want to congratulate Lamine. So if he gets man of the match, it's not for his goal. It's not for the plays he's made. I think if Lamine gets man of the match today, it's because of his leadership mentality, his leadership attitude, his incessant, never giving up type of energy that he gives this team. So congratulations to Lamine Yamal. And Lewandowski, kind of more of the same. I'm glad they gave him this game because he hasn't started in that many games. But in the end, I think this game was more for Ferran Torres than Lewandowski, who sure enough comes in as a sub. Let's look at the subs really quick. Hansi Flick, the coach, and Hansi Flick, the GOAT. For me, the GOAT. I think Hansi Flick is one of the greatest managers in modern football right now, just because of what he does to change up the game, to change up the lineup, and change up the tactics. Not tactics, but the strategy of how to go ahead and attack the team, especially those halftime changes and that you see almost every single game where we come out even better in the second half. In this game, probably not, because as we see, well, we had one goal in the first half, one goal in the second half. So yeah, not bad. Cubarsí comes in, like I said, for Joao Cancelo and moves Eric Garcia to the right. Fermin Lopez comes in at the 66th for Marc Bernal, and that's when we see the Olmo, De Jong double six, and Fermin up top. Fermin's awesome, dude. Marc Casado comes in at the 66th minute, so I'm guessing he comes in for, what did he come? For Rashford. So I guess they put Fermin here and they put Casado here. Okay, never mind. So it was a double six with Olmo and Rashford and Fermin kind of switching it up like they usually do. Ferran comes in for Lewandowski, and Condé comes in for Araujo at the end of the game to close it out. And I guess Eric Garcia goes back to the center back role with Pau Cubarsí as Condé finishes off the game on the right back, showing that Eric Garcia had started the game in the center back position, moves to right back for most of the second half, and then moves back to the center back position. It's just so important to have a player like that. And that's the entirety of the substitutions. So before I finish this video, because it's not much more I want to say, the whole purpose of this video is to kind of analyze where we are in terms of depth. Is this a team, and especially now without Pedri and Rafinha, it's a completely different team. Without Pedri and Rafinha, I already have your answer. But if they come back eventually, hopefully Gavi comes back eventually. But if those three players come back eventually, do we have the squad to compete for everything? Because we won the Copa del Rey quarterfinal. That means we're going to a semifinal against whatever team is left, and we're going to have to play 2 semifinal legs. I think they're like a month apart or just about, so it's not a big deal. It's not like we're going to have very tough games back to back, but still, in the middle of it, we have the Champions League, and obviously we're still competing for La Liga, really tight, only 1 point ahead of Real Madrid. And can we compete with this team? Can we win it all with this team? I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think the Champions League is very realistic with this squad. And it hurts me to say it, bro, because Pedri's cracked, especially when he shares the midfield with De Jong. Our defense, yeah, we're pulling guys out of the academy like Gerard Martin, like Pau Cubarsí. We have Joan Garcia now. This might be the difference, because this is the difference. Last year we had Szczesny here. Now we have Joan Garcia. Maybe he could be the difference, but still, our defense is our defense. We have every once in a while we'll have Pau Cubarsí in the mix or Gerard Martin in the mix. Here, Balde, Condé, it's pretty good. It's pretty good with when everybody's available, but still, it's not only name by name, but also the way we play defense with the high line, with the offside trap, with the high pressing, leaving a lot of spaces behind these players. Can we realistically compete in Champions League? That's probably another conversation entirely. Today I want to talk about player for player, not really schemes, but it's there. We have this is the team, and then behind them we have Cubarsí, Condé, and Balde. We don't have another defender because Christensen is still injured. Here we have De Jong, Bernal, we have Casado, we have Eric Garcia that can plug in, and Pedri and Gavi are on IR basically, or Gavi's on IR, and Pedri's there in kind of in the bubble. Olmo can tuck in. It's not bad. I actually like it when Olmo does that, but still, then you don't have somebody to change it up for Fermin. Fermin's really good. Got Rashford. You got Rafinha also, so you got Rashford behind Rafinha. Lamine Yamal, you have Bargy. Bargy barely plays, and if he barely plays, it's for a reason, because if they really wanted to make it happen, they could put Bargy here or here, and see what happens, but I don't think Bargy's ready. Then we have Lewandowski, who's, let's be real, he's like 37 years old, 38. Yeah, 37 years old. And Ferran, who is lighting it up. I love Ferran this season. I loved Ferran last season. He gets it done. But Ferran also, like we've seen, sometimes misses a lot of chances. I think he puts away very important ones. But there are moments where we might need somebody to be clutcher than what Ferran is. So, guys, leave it in the comments, man. Do you think this is enough of a squad to win it all? Obviously, I'm going to be asking only Barcelona fans. If you're not a Barcelona fan, obviously, you feel free to comment. And I have a feeling I know what you're going to say. Obviously, the answer is no. Man, as a Barca fan, even I'm questioning myself. Can we compete for the Champions League? Can we compete for all 3 titles? I think Copa del Rey, barring any mistakes or any fatigue or more injuries, I think we should win Copa del Rey. We should win the semifinals, but semifinals 2 legs, that's tough, man, because you got to do like a double focus. You go into a game knowing it's not the last one. Are you going to give it the 100%? You also have Champions League in the middle. You have La Liga at the end of the weekend. It's like things like that. I don't know how much we can compete in that sense. So Copa del Rey, yeah, we can win it. It's the least important of the 3 trophies. Then we have La Liga. That's week to week to week to week. And like I said, with the help that some teams receive in this league, it's very tough to keep up. And then you have the Champions League, which is just 2 legs of high-intensity football against Europe's biggest and best teams who have way more depth, way more money, and reinforcements, especially in this winter transfer season. Like, just look at Manchester City alone. Got 2-3 important players. They got Guehi, they got Semenyo, and I think that's it. They might have gotten one more that I'm not thinking of right now. But, like, teams like that, we have to compete against teams like that in the Champions League. So, will it be enough? That's a question for you guys in the comments. But, yeah, like the video, guys. Subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.